Hi. It's time again. Holy smokes. So Drew held down the fort fantastically.
Big shoes to fill.
With high fantasticness. He did a great job last week. So great job, man.
Thank you.
Man, MegaCon was last week.
It was huge. It was a lot of fun.
I feel like we should do a whole video just talking about MegaCon.
We should. Honestly, we should.
Yeah, there's so much because we could just talk about it now and ramble on.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do that. We're going to get right to it like we always try to do. Not screwing around with a bunch of craziness. We're going to do our mehs, which are like, we didn't hate them. We didn't love them.
Yeah.
Sometimes we liked them, but they couldn't make it in the top 10 because we keep our top 10 super strict.
Yes.
I'm cheating this week, though. I got 2 bonus books in there.
So
we're giving away some cool stuff.
Yes.
This
actually, one in particular is pretty damn cool. Actually, two.
Well,
both of them are.
This is Gotham City Monsters. We're gonna give this away. And we'll tell you how you can get into the giveaway. Most of you already know. And we're giving away
here we go.
a 1 in 200 ratio variant. 1 in 200 wraparound in space. No one can hear you scream. CBCS 9.8. It's in the plastic to protect it from my grubby fingerprints. We're giving this away. So, Drew, how do you get entered into the giveaway?
Make sure to like, comment, hit your like number. Type in your like number.
Type in your like number.
Your like number. That's the big thing. A lot of people will comment like no like number. It's like
otherwise we can't find it.
Yeah.
So we owe you guys a pretty big giveaway video. I mean, I got piles stacking up over here of craziness. We need to give stuff away. As always, we do it. We go live. We spend a couple hours screwing around, giving lots and lots of stuff away. You got to like, comment your like number. Make sure you sub to the channel. Turn on the notifications. I know everyone says it, but for real, do it. Just take a minute and just pause. Just pause for a second. We ain't going nowhere.
Just
pause
tap.
Grab your device. Get on your computer. Grab your mouse.
Get your phone.
Like, subscribe, and make sure the notification bell's turned on. It's super important. Okay. So mehs. Let's start with mehs.
Yes.
Okay. They're no particular order. These are just kind of there.
But if we have the same ones, we'll go ahead and talk about them.
Yeah, we'll talk about them. So my meh number 1 is, and yours is
Count Draco Knuckle Duster.
Full disclosure, I didn't even read that one.
Okay.
I have By the Horns.
Oh, it was in your mehs.
Yeah, so I'll start. I love this series. It was just too many good ones this week. It got bumped out. I like the series. I recommend it. I think you should read it. It's a good story. If you can't find the individual issues, pick up a trade. This is from Scout. Got to see the Scout guys this weekend.
Yes,
great guys. I love it. I love it. Just didn't make my top 10. Got bumped. More solider stuff is in there. Tell me about this Draco thing. What is this?
Likewise with Count Draco. This would have been in my top 10, but I as you say, I had more gooder stuff.
Good stuff was more gooder.
Gooder, yes. It happens sometimes.
There was more bestest stuff that didn't make this not the goodest.
So this follows the guy, Count Draco, who's actually created the Phantom Star Killer. He made him who he is.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
So, it's been a year, I think, since Phantom Star Killer came out, and this is the follow-up issue of that.
Okay, very cool. I mean, takes what it takes, I guess.
Yeah, if you remember it, I had to go through my memory banks to remember it.
I don't remember it.
Oh. And so this guy follows up on Phantom Star Killer. Hey, did you find that kid? And Star Killer's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Then Draco finds out, he does have the kid after all. And, and it doesn't go too well for Phantom Star Killer at all.
So did you like it? Just couldn't make it?
It's good. It's good. It just didn't make it. It's actually a fun read.
Well, very cool. I'll revisit it.
Part 3 is next year.
Oh, yeah, probably, right?
No, it does say in the back, 2022.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Hey,
yes.
I guess don't compromise your vision for speed, I guess.
Yes.
Number whatever.
Yeah. Actually,
you know what? Hold on.
Okay. I'm going to talk about that too. Yeah, I got Noctera as well.
So I'll start again. It was a solid wrap up to the story arc. This is issue 6, I believe.
Yes.
Noctera number 6. The art's been solid all the way through. It kind of lost me a little bit last issue. I think it made it into my mez or skip it. I can't remember.
Whereas I really liked.
You loved the last issue.
Yes.
This one, I like this one more. I thought it was a good wrap up to the story arc. I'm excited for the next story arc. they've laid a good foundation for this universe. It felt like I finished up the first, maybe the first movie.
Yeah.
Like kind of like the first movie I did, and I want to see the second movie now. I liked it. It was a solid wrap up. It wasn't fantastic. I feel like the characters get kind of muddled towards the end.
Yeah.
There's a little muddling going on, but there's a really cool twist, a couple really good action scenes. That's how I felt about it.
I'll say I felt like this issue, Tony Daniels' art really it went from consistent to inconsistent in certain pages. I could tell where he took time and detail on. Others, I could see, okay, you spent a couple hours on this page.
Okay.
As opposed to the others.
Interesting.
But, yeah, it was all right. It really, when I'm reading this, I really felt like I was reminded of the movie Day of the Dead from the 1980s. There's a scene toward near the end when the zombies invade the base underground, and I'm like, this is really reminding me of that right now, and I'd kind of rather be watching that right now.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's not bad.
I enjoyed it. It was okay.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I think there's something bigger going on here, and I'm kind of excited to see what happens in the next few. Pretty good. Yeah. Not too bad. Not too shabby.
So do you want to do the one I was getting ready to...
Yeah. What was the one you had? You had the...
Second Chances.
Yes.
So this was good, but it was Second Chances #1 from Image. So it was good to me. However, it felt like this was... I should have... It felt like a series that's already taken place. Like I should know some things, but I'm like, I have no clue who these characters are.
Yeah, it bounced around a lot.
It did bounce around a lot,
and they threw a lot at us.
Yes.
We get this character.
Yep.
Then it goes to the main character. Then it goes to a different character. Then it comes back to the main character. And the different character is now connected to the main character, but I still don't know what happened to the first character.
Yeah.
It's kind of all over the place.
Yes.
It really should have been like, I wanted a little more of who these people are, how they're significant to each other. This felt like kind of 2 issues crammed into one.
Yes.
And they left some stuff out. It's just kind of jumpy.
I think if they had just focused on the guy, him setting up his business of relocating people, which is, okay, that's a great concept. Making them disappear. Awesome.
Yeah, second chances.
Focus on that. Yeah.
You screw up, everyone deserves a second chance. Well, not everyone, but he kind of hints on that. I wanted more of that.
Yeah.
Like,
show him doing some previous cases, some tough ones.
And all of a sudden, there's this lady who's just like an enigma, but is she? I don't know who she is. There's a big page that she shows up at the end, and I'm like, I don't even know enough about her to be excited. Like, there she is. Like, I'm just like, what's happening?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it felt like we should have already known who these people are when I'm reading this, but I have no clue who they are.
Yeah, I feel like they should have given the script for issue 1 a second chance. Yeah, and was this black and white or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was black and white. I forgot. I don't know why it was black and white. Like some books, you can tell they're black and white, and it kind of it I don't know what it is. It kind of adds to it.
Yeah.
Like the whole Walking Dead was black and white.
Yes.
Right? Didn't bother me at all.
No.
I didn't get the black and white thing. Could they not find a colorist? It wasn't drawn with a specific theme to make the black and white have more emphasis in the story or the world, create an environment for us, or it just didn't do it for me.
No.
I was a bit taken aback by that.
Maybe they didn't have the budget for it.
It just seemed like they couldn't afford a colorist. Colorists aren't expensive. Okay, next one. What do you got?
I have got Sinister War #3.
You know what? I am very proud of you for having that in there.
Yeah.
I also have Sinister War #3. I have the Kraven the Hunter. I like the action card variants.
Yes, they're pretty cool.
I really think they're cool. The character, I'm sorry, not action card, character sheet variants.
Yeah, it's kind of what John Byrne did back in the day.
Like when you were playing the role-playing game or something, or you wanted to know the power of somebody. Anyway, so you start because you've been praising this all along so far.
So this is where I'm really kind of pumping my brakes on this. I'm like, so we're not really getting much plot development out of this at all.
No.
It's just Spidey running, more bad guys. Running to hide, more bad guys. Which, I mean, I can't believe I'm finding myself complaining about that. But it's like, I want to tell Nick, that's a great idea, but nothing is really happening.
It was the same
Same
thing
thing as the
happened
previous
in
issue.
the first issue and the second issue
Yes.
and now this issue. It's the same thing. This is issue 3, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing about Kindred, nothing about Mary Jane, nothing about Norman. It's just him running, getting hit, run, get a hit, run, get hit. It's like,
And they're like, I would need to be the one to kill him. I don't want to
Yeah, yeah.
suffer in hell forever like Kindred said we would do.
yeah,
And they say that a couple times. And here's another thing that we talk about believability, verisimilitude, right?
yes,
How injured is Peter?
yes. At
In
this
the
point,
very
yeah.
beginning of this, he's on his deathbed.
Yeah.
He's like can barely hold it together.
He's got his webs holding
He's
himself
got
together.
webs holding his ribs together and his guts in place, we assume. But then he's at full agility and power and strength the whole time he's fighting these guys. I don't feel like he's on his last leg.
No.
I don't feel like he's can barely walk. I don't feel any of that.
If they had shown like one or two panels of him like stopping, like him like a close up of his face and having to take his mask off, or partway like having to breathe in deeply, or like tying himself off.
Yes, you just saying that with his mask hanging off.
Yeah.
Todd McFarlane, when he did Torment.
Yes. Yes.
I felt like Peter was more in danger in Torment.
Yes.
By the second issue.
Yes.
Remember the doom
Yeah,
of the
doom.
drugs, or the drums, right?
Yeah.
And Lizard going crazy. I felt like he was much more on his last leg by issue 2 of that series.
Yeah, he looked like he was on his last leg.
Yeah, then I feel in issue 3 of this, he's got a little bit of a cut. If
Yeah.
he's been fighting, I don't know how many different teams.
Honestly, it felt
a
like
team of 6, a team of 8, a team of 7.
I think if you take one through 3 of this together, it's probably been a total of maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like there's no danger. There's no impending doom. There's no. I mean, it doesn't help also that Marvel's already advertising the very end of Nick Spencer's run, and he's swinging through the air with Mary Jane in his arms and flowers flying everywhere. Once again, I've complained about this 1,000 times. We already know it's going to be okay at the end. How in danger is he? Like, you really want me to believe he's in danger? I don't believe he's in danger. Things in all the solicitations for the next issue say, in previews and Diamond say, you think things are bad for Peter now? Guess what? They're going to get worse. They're going to get even worse. And I'm like, but are they?
No, it's like really. You brought
But
up.
are they?
You're right. Point you just brought up. Spider-Man Torment. You got it right there in your bookcase. I mean, I'm looking at that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he literally was getting ready to get eaten alive by the lizard. You know, he was almost dead.
His costume's torn
Torn
to
to
pieces.
pieces? Yeah.
His eyes, you can see his eyes ripped out,
Yeah.
and his mask is torn to shreds.
Trying to catch his breath.
He's full of blood and dripping just gunk and stuff.
And normally I like Bagley, but Bagley wasn't. They're not that descriptive on how cut up a torp he is.
His script must have had no notes about his costume is tore up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. No. It's totally losing me.
Yes, it is.
Something really significant needs to happen in the next issue, or it's going to be a complete waste of an amazing idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's details like that really ruin an event like this.
I mean, I'm sure Bailey's having a great time drawing all these villains.
Yes, yeah.
And we get to see there's a little bit of exploration of, well, are these villains really villains?
Yeah.
Like he lived with Boomerang
We see
for a while.
when Boomerang has a little.
There's like a little moment. Like, really? That could have happened in issue 1 of this.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to rave about how mediocre this is, but it's going downhill quick
Yes,
for me.
it is. Yes.
Yes. All right, next one. We can do a whole series just on that poopiness.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got next?
Beyond the Breach, number 2.
Okay, I don't have that one in there.
Okay.
I have this one, Catwoman
Okay.
34. I liked it. I just didn't love it. It's better than the last issue. The last issue was losing me a little bit, if you remember.
I enjoyed the last issue.
I know, you've been loving Catwoman.
Yes, I have, yeah.
I remember. But this one's coming back for me. I liked it. It was solid. I like the bad guy.
Yes, Father Valley.
Yes,
Great.
I
Yes.
didn't. That's, I think, what was losing me is I didn't see him as a viable threat to Catwoman. I think she's found herself a nemesis.
Yeah.
Yes, this guy is on it.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a couple of things where you're like, oh, okay, she's smart. That's a smart thing Catwoman just did. And you're like, no, it wasn't. Like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. If it was a lesser week for the top 10s, it probably would have been in my top 10, especially with this strong Jenny Ferson cover. Very strong cover.
It confused me because I thought that was Michael Janin for a minute. The way the cowl's drawn on Batman, that's kind of how Michael Janin draws it.
Yeah, I can see it. But it's because, Ferson's colors give it away.
Yeah, very true, yes.
So talk about Beyond the Breach.
Beyond the Breach, it was good, but to me, I was kind of hoping they would keep it more of a secret. Like, really wouldn't be a reveal of where these things came from. And now it's like fully given to us, yep, well, it's aliens. And it's like,
they don't really say that, though.
Well, they do, because at the very end, we see these people with these strange names show up.
Yeah. They show up like, yeah, you're right. At the end, there's kind of like I'm still...
I'm still gonna read it, but I'm just kind of like, that's okay. I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more creative, but okay.
So this made it into my top 10. It's a bonus one for me, and I'll talk more about it. Why?
Okay.
I kind of feel what you're feeling on it. I ain't mad at you for that, but I liked it more. Okay. I felt like we didn't get more of the same. The story moved along. It took a good step forward. It was a positive step forward. We introduced to a new dude. And then we still see how the world's in chaos, and everyone's still really confused about what's happening. And they're all confused.
I really wish we were still as confused too.
Got it.
Like where these things came from, and who they were.
Well, I think we are still confused because now the people they did introduce, it's like, so here's this dude. Okay, cool.
Looks like a wizard or something. It's weird.
And then there's some he does some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
And we think he's a good guy, but then at the end it's kind of like, is he a good guy? So we're still, and even the wizard's like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, why all of a sudden I'm here? Like, and she's like, why all of a sudden are you here? Like, it was solid. I pretty much described the whole thing, but I liked it. Okay, next one. You got any more mehs?
Yeah, I've got 4 more mehs.
I probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more mehs.
Oh, okay. I got Marauders 23.
Go ahead.
This issue was just strange.
Yeah, it was almost a skip it.
Yeah, it was. And
super close to being a skip it.
One of the strangest things about this is that it just ends.
Yeah.
There's no cliffhanger. There's no real. It's like, wait, that's the end.
So did you read Wolverine and the X-Men when that came out?
Back
when Wolverine was the school at the Xavier.
No.
So they introduced the new Hellfire Club. Is a bunch of kids.
Okay.
And they were evil, twisted little bastards. Cade Kilgore was the main one. And the girl at the end of this, who they're revealing what her dad did to her, she was his main sidekick, like the White Queen of the Hellfire Club. But they were all these super genius, ridiculously genius, rich kids that were tormenting the Xavier Institute, basically. So that's who they are at the end of this.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of makes a little more sense, but it still does just end.
Yeah.
And then
doesn't even say the end or to be continued or nothing. It just
here's another thing. Bishop isn't in this issue at all.
No, he's not. No,
he's not in this episode. I call issues episodes. He's not even in this issue at all.
No, and I'm a big Banshee fan, and they really underutilized Banshee in this.
Yeah. They did. Banshee is so powerful.
Yes,
but he kind of just sits back. He's kind of like, these guys showed up, and
can you help me, please?
Yeah, and the whole Emma thing. I like how Emma's such a badass. Like she's just the cockiest, most badass. She's one of the most badass X-Men. I love the way they draw her. But it was almost a skip it because, nothing happens.
No.
Nothing happens of significance.
The only interesting piece of information is at the very beginning when we find out the pharmaceuticals for Krakoa are drying up and the dealers are going crazy.
But then at the end they explain it's all okay.
Okay, yeah.
But they're going to be here in a couple days.
Yeah.
Okay. And this featured more the time chicken here. I can't remember what her name is. The golden one.
Yeah.
It featured more her using her power, the time person. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Just almost to skip it. To skip it. Okay. What do you got next?
I've got Trial of Magneto, #1.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Yeah, I thoroughly bored.
Do you have Radiant Black?
That's in my list coming up.
Probably your skip it.
Yes.
So this was super close to being a skip it to me. It barely didn't make the skip it's. And the only reason it didn't barely make the skip it's is because I like the tension between the red I don't want to say Ranger.
They are. When you have a red, yellow, pink, blue, black, it's like these are the Power Rangers.
The Power Rangers. I like the tension between the red Radiant and I'm not going to call them Rangers and the blue
Ranger.
Radiant Ranger. Yeah, it was so close to being a skip it. If that wasn't, it's the dialogue. The dialogue was fun to me still. I was almost to the point of just skimming it because I don't like the Power Rangers and these guys are almost the same thing, but they're also kind of confused about the suits and they all have these different powers, and if it doesn't something change, I don't know. It's probably going to be a skip it soon, but anyway. So go with your trial of Magneto.
So
what? Oh man, you better have a good reason for this one, sir.
Oh, I've got a lot. I took notes.
Okay.
So the assumption that someone used supernatural metal and that this person killed Scarlet Witch with care, they automatically bust out the jump to conclusions mat and assume it's Magneto with no actual physical evidence it was Magneto. They automatically go lynching for him.
That's true. That does happen.
Yes. And apparently they're just going after people on whims now. So
they did assume it was him. I don't know what supernatural metal is.
They say that. That's what they call it.
They do. I will agree with that. And they totally screw up. You're absolutely right. They just go, but you don't know who did it. But Eric is he's my buddy Eric. Magneto's very adamant that he didn't do it.
Yes.
But
I'm thoroughly believed by the end of this we're going to find out he didn't do it.
It's almost written like a good murder mystery because
I wouldn't say good.
It's I loved this, and I'll tell you why in my top 10.
For me, another part with this was I thought it was pretty low what some of the characters say about Magneto and the women in his life. He loved his wife and his kids, which is absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
And I do not.
Oh, you're talking about Quicksilver?
Yeah, and everyone. Well, not Quicksilver. It was everyone else.
It was Polaris.
Polaris. Yeah, Polaris. And I think
Polaris really went after him.
Yeah, it's like no, you're lying.
Polaris she really went after him. That was some low blows.
And how Quicksilver reacted, that I do not see Quicksilver reacting that way.
Well, that was his sister.
That was his sister. No, but I see him. I would have seen him acting more out of anger than anything else.
Yeah.
Not crying. That's not Quicksilver.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But that fight alone in there between him and all the mutants trying to take him down, X Factor, the dialogue was witty between them all investigating it, and they point out their own flaws. The fight was amazing. Some of the things they say to each other was great. It's in my top 10. I'll leave it at that.
I think it's a meh.
Okay. Got it. All right, next one.
I've got Gamma Flight number 3.
I have that one also.
It was okay, I guess.
Yeah.
They discover a gamma purgatory, I guess. Allegedly, we're
Hulkatory.
Yeah, Hulkatory. Yeah.
Purga Hulk. The gamma astral plane.
Now I don't know about you, but that last page, I laughed out loud reading it. I'm like, I don't know if I should have been, but it just came across as stupid.
Super corny.
Yes.
Unlike she's standing at attention.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I am this person.
Yes.
It's almost like, come on, man. I mean, they bring in the bad general from the Hulk, comes into this world. I do like the character development of Rick Jones in it.
Yes.
That's what stopped it from being a skip it.
That is still the creepiest visual.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm still looking at that going. Like, what's going on with this thing?
Can we please stop torturing Rick Jones?
Yeah.
Please.
So it's the Rick Jones stuff, and Al Ewing is not doing a bad job.
He's not, but there's a co-writer on there, so I'm wondering if he gave out like the overall story. Yeah, he did the plot, and she did the pages.
Yeah,
page breakdowns.
could be.
Yeah,
could be. Yeah, but it's a meh. It's not a skip it.
Yeah,
it's a meh.
Yeah.
We'll see. This Gamma Flight's been kind of teetering on the edges.
Yeah. Art's solid too.
The art is very solid. Yeah, I'm not complaining about the art at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
Could be better.
Okay, what else you got?
Last one more. Jupiter's Legacy Requiem.
Oh, I didn't even read that one. I'm gonna go with this one that you hated. You probably didn't even read this week.
Oh, you know what? I forgot I forgot that. Yeah, I think I was watching Swiss Family Robinson. I forgot,
So I'll just talk about this real quick. The reason this Bermuda is in here, and I will ask you to do this at least, Drew. Okay. At least open it up and look at the art.
Oh no! There's no question about it. You know, yeah, Nate Bradshaw.
Yes.
Yeah, is it Nick or Nate?
Nick Bradshaw.
Nick Bradshaw. Yeah, his art is terrific. There's no. He's like the next Art Adams. There's no doubt about that.
This is hands down the most beautiful, well drawn, meticulously drawn comic I've read since the last issue of Bermuda.
No, you will not get a debate out of me about that.
This would have been a 100% skip it because the story is super boring to me. The story is so boring. I feel like I'm reading like a cartoon for like 12-year-olds.
Okay.
Like they're on pirate. Oh, this is the pirate side of the island, and I'm like, ugh. But his art, I found myself skipping all the dialogue and just studying. I was staring at the pictures, studying the art because it's stunning. It's stunning. Nick Bradshaw, oh my Lord, he is. You can tell he's got to be a fan of or inspired by Arthur Adams, because the detail he puts into these interiors, he's got to put hours and hours and hours into every single. He draws groups of people, and every one he's got to be zooming in on a screen or something, or he can draw the tiniest people in the world. I can rave about this all day long. And the colorist, shame on me for not remembering who the colorist is. O'Grady, maybe. The colorist colors his stuff perfectly and beautifully. Some of the most enjoyable pages of this are at the end. And thank you, IDW, for showing his layouts. They show his layouts, and then they show his finished work.
Oh, nice.
And they show the pencils, and they show the colors. So you can compare them side by side. Thank you so much for that. They know how amazing this interior art is, and they're featuring it in the back. Thank you so much for that, because it deserves to be featured. I want an oversized art book of this, of this series alone, just to marvel at the art. Okay, I'll stop raving about the art. Go ahead.
No, you'll get no disagreement out of me about that at all.
Yeah, just at least thumb through it to look at the art. It's so good.
I probably will.
It's crazy good.
So Jupiter's Legacy Requiem #3, Skyfox. Character Skyfox. Wow. Let's just say he finds himself in a position. I've been in a few mornings after spending the night with a young lady. And
tell me more there, sir.
Well, you wake up and you see a kid, standing in the front living room, and
God. Mommy, I want breakfast.
Yes, yeah. I was told not to knock on the bedroom door when she has her purse on the door handle.
Oh God, is that my new daddy?
Yeah.
Drew, you dirty man whore.
You can tell Skyfox is trying to be a good guy while still doing bad things, but it's not really working out too well for the guy. And at the very end, we see a possible new alien threat that's interested in Earth and its many resources, since the heroes it has now are pretty damn weak.
Okay.
This was a very fun read. If you like Jupiter's Legacy, you'll enjoy this.
I loved it, and I should probably read it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yep. Okay. And my last meh is Batman Catwoman. It was almost a total, complete 100% skip hit. Except for Clayman's beautiful art and the Jim Lee cover.
Yeah.
Those make it a meh for me. Once again, I'm skipping Tom King.
We had a good talk about Dan DiDio about this.
I either love Tom King's work, which will show up later on, or I loathe it. I don't like this at all. I do not like this. This is the most drug out, slow story. I don't care about the Christmas ornaments. I don't care. He's trying to say all this deeper stuff. It's lost. It's not coming through. The point's not being made. But Clayman's art is amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
I just wish he could finish the book on time. You can tell that's why these are so delayed, because he probably just isn't drawing them. It's a shame when you see talent that's lazy like that.
I would say wasted.
I mean, it's.
This is the only thing Clayman is doing.
Clayman, I know, he's so good. He could be drawing.
Justice League. The main title, Batman.
Yes. If he was more reliable, I'm sure editors would be more willing to give him work, give him more prominent work. I mean, he's drawing the Bat and the Cat. I mean, that's pretty prominent because he's so good. He did the Heroes in Crisis, but he could be doing so much more. You know, I mean, anyway. Yeah, total skip it, except for the beautiful art. Thank you, Clayman. Pull it out of your butt and get to work because your fans want more of your stuff.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Including me. I'm a fan of you.
Me too.
I want your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready for the skip its?
Let's do it.
All right, so skip its. We're at. Let's take a little note for our guy. Skip its. 30 minutes and 30 seconds. We're starting skip its. 30. I'll write it down here so we can tell our YouTuber guy that helps us do all this. Okay. 30. Skip it. You ready? Go for it.
Here we go.
I got
I've got 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 7.
Ooh, 7.
Yeah, I read a lot. Okay, what do you got first? I'll follow your lead.
I've got Superman and the Authority,
Yep.
number 2 of 4.
Go for it.
I can't begin to express how totally disappointed I am with Grant Morrison and how much of a shell he is of his former self at this point. The lines of dialogue in this and what he does to Apollo and Midnighter in this, it is really disappointing to longtime fans of these characters. He's now turned them into legit stereotypes, which is what we complained about with Hulkling and Wiccan, a few months ago. Yeah. It's like we would say, like, Apollo and Midnight, they're not like this, or it's not the main thing. But in this, he makes it their main thing.
Apollo is like an insecure
wimp.
Yeah, he's like an insecure woman in a relationship.
Yes,
that is afraid her husband's cheating on her and has no self-confidence. Yeah. Or vice versa, an insecure guy who's afraid that his wife is cheating on him.
Yeah.
On him. Yeah.
So I'm reading this and I'm like, is this really happening?
He's never
right now?
been that before.
No, never.
I have the huge volumes of The Authority over here on my shelf. I read all of them.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
Absolutely.
I love them.
Yes.
And they're never like that.
No.
Hated it.
Yes.
Hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Talk about multiple kernels of corn and that shit.
Okay, go for it.
Next one, Superman Red and Blue, number 6.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Oh, my God, this one.
It's just boring. It's so boring. Oh, my God, it's a total snooze fest.
The second to last page in this comic, I busted out laughing. So I was laughing so loud the other day. Dawn, who is our shipping goddess here, Dawn, shipping goddess.
She's amazing.
Yes. She walked by me. She's like, why are you laughing so hard? And I showed it to her, and she started busting out laughing. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even get to the story. I thought they were so boring. Is this an alternate world? Oh, he made him safe to say.
Yes.
That. Whatever.
Yes, you want to talk about the?
I mean,
if you look at the definition of the word pandering, you know what you'll find in the definition of the word pandering?
This issue.
Well, the definition of the word pandering and this image. Yeah, that's what you'll find.
DC Comics. DC Comics lately, half of it's pandering to certain crowds that want to see the stuff that no one cares about. I missed that because so what happens is a kid has the courage to come out and say that he's gay because he sees Superman on TV. Okay, that's fine.
I could see that being I'll say being courageous and brave is being tossed around very loosely these days. I'll say that.
I don't know. It's just one of those things where they're just so boring. These stories are boring.
Yeah. It's amazing. The last issue was fantastic. Like
the last one was good.
Yes, it was.
But they're so hit and miss.
This one is
almost all the color themed books. The Carnage, Black, Red, and White, Red, and Blood, or whatever it is, and the Wolverine Blood one, and then this Red, White, and Blue, or Blue, whatever, Red and Blue. They're boring.
They'll typically have that one good issue,
and
everything else will suck.
We will suffer through these so you can read them.
Yeah.
Know which ones to get.
If you're going to read any issue in this series, read issue number 5. That's the best one.
This is not the one to get.
No.
Okay. All right, next one.
If you want to read a comic where Superman's alluded to being raped, read issue 1. That's true.
Okay, what do you got next?
Etheridge number 1.
Oh, shut your mouth. What is...
Woo!
I'm going to take you to task on this one. There's going to be a fight. I have The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I actually, you know what? I forgot to grab that one, so... Yeah.
Oh, this will be a skip it for you, too?
Yes, it would have, yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about The Dark Knight. God, where do I start with this? It's just, it started with a great concept.
Absolutely.
And then it blew it all to shit.
Yes, it did. It's like, wait,
It just blew it all to shit.
Yeah.
It started with a great concept,
Yes.
and all of a sudden, it's the poor abused
Women.
women are
Yes.
sick. This is the how they get vengeance is by murdering people, and I don't understand how Batman as a hologram can
Yeah.
follow something through history in the past. That makes no sense.
They don't even set up like what technology he's using.
No sense.
Yeah.
How can you go through 200 years in the past with as a hologram, and it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
It was a total. It's almost insulting to a reader that has
Yeah.
a brain.
Yeah.
Because it's trying to make a point that's a weak point
Very weak. Yeah.
that doesn't need to be made in a Batman story. I hated it.
No.
I literally hated this issue by the time I was done with it.
No, when you're doing nothing but trying to shame the Wayne legacy, you know, and men in general, it's like I've checked out. I'm done.
That's it. It felt like it was just I need to crack on powerful white men.
When I see the two
Phillips.
Yeah, Stephanie Phillips. Yes, shame on you. And Tamara Bondvillain. Yeah. When I see the words "be better" used in a comic, no, steer clear of it. That is a complete 1, 2, 3 strike. You're out. Get out of here. Burn it. Yeah.
Stephanie Phillips did what was the nuclear thing? What was it?
Nuclear Family.
Nuclear Family?
Yes, that was damn good.
And I loved it.
Yes.
All of her DC stuff has been political crap. I hate it. Okay, go Eat the Rich. That I loved. Go for it.
This was incredibly boring, and it really came across as a poor person's thought process of what rich people are.
Okay.
And I will say this: it's what I call a long walk for a short drink of water, because it's just about her feeling like an outsider around rich people, and we're seeing how snooty and pretentious rich people are. And it's like, okay, this is clearly a socialist writing this. I have tuned out.
I didn't get that at all.
It just, it's clearly a poor person's thoughts of what a rich person is and how they act and what they say. But by the end of it, it's like, they just cutting up people. I mean, to be honest with you, if you want to read a truly effed up, watch an effed up story that does this better, it's called Society. Great horror film from the 1980s. You want to look up some messed up Eat the Rich style movie? Check that out. Yeah.
I could not disagree with you more. So I will say my thoughts on that. For the other video, it's in my top 10.
I'll say if you want the better version, check out Society. Check it out.
I totally loved it.
Just don't eat anything when you're watching it.
So I'll just briefly say on this, I love how the girl she's nervous. She's dating this rich dude, right? Mm-hmm. And the rich dude is also nervous about going back home because supposedly he's been sober. He doesn't want to be put in this environment again. There are rich people, well-off people out there who, if someone is coming from she wants to be like them.
Well,
she even says, I'm going to law school to be like, or whatever school she's going to. She's like, I want to be in these circles someday. I want to know how to fit in with these people because she wants to be rich like them. Mm-hmm. I didn't get any social commentary about it at all from this issue. All I got was this girl who is encountering creepy thing after creepy thing after creepy thing. The help is telling her weird stuff. They're all telling her, don't do this. If you want to get through this, keep your mouth. And she totally doesn't fit in at all. No one tells her anything. And she sees that crazy thing at the end. And I'm like, yes.
I would say it really wasn't too crazy for me. It was more like, okay. But like the three movies that do this story better are Society, Get Out, and Ready or Not. Those three do it much better.
Get Out was really good, yeah. But it's a different story. I loved it. We agree to disagree on this one. I absolutely loved it. I told them it's in my top 10. Okay, what else you got? Because we both hated Detective.
Yes, we did. I got Kang the Conqueror, number 1.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Okay, so this is gonna be easy for me. This series Marvels is losing me. It's getting super boring to me. Oh man, I like the first one, Great heroes, great story, great thing happening. By this issue, is this 4, 3, 4? I am almost checked out. I am not interested anymore. Just not. Okay, Kang, go ahead. We're going to fight again about Kang.
Real quick, I love Kang. I love Kang the Conqueror. He is one of my all-time favorite quote-unquote villains in Marvel history. I'll say he's a villain. Yes. Probably my favorite Avengers villain of all time, Kang. I love him.
He's great.
Yes, if you watch, there's a Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers animated series from like 10 years ago. Great episodes with him in it.
Yes, there are.
Yes.
I forgot about those.
Made him a true badass.
Okay.
And I was looking forward to this one the most. I was nervous about this one the most because I felt like they should have either had Kurt Busiek or Mark Waid writing this. Because those are two legacy guys who know this character more than anyone else currently at Marvel.
Yep.
And it's like Jackson Lanning, I think that's the guy.
Kelly.
So this disappointed me the most. It was long, tedious, and one of the most boring comics I've read in a very long time. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh man, I can't disagree again.
When you're telling the origin of Kang throughout time, there are so many ways, so many badass ways you could do this, but they picked one of the most generic ways to do it, and it was very uninteresting.
He basically goes back in time to train himself.
Yes.
To overcome all of his every time he's been defeated, to teach his younger self how to not be defeated anymore.
Yes.
And it doesn't go as planned, or does it? Like with Kang, you never know. That's what I love about this, because you never. How many times is Kang? In some of the best Kang stories I've read, it's been where, oh, Kang, something happens, but oh, look, he got his ass kicked or something. But he's like, he shows up and he's like, I knew that was going to happen, so I came back here to do this, and I really won.
I'll say this: if you want to read a more recent badass Kang story, read Avengers Mech Strike. He was fantastic in that.
I feel like with your characters that you like, so I could be off here, but I think when it comes to a character that you love and you feel super connected to, if it doesn't fit a certain mold for you, you instantly don't like it.
No, it's not necessarily that. I guess it's how you tell the story.
Okay.
That's a big thing.
Okay.
Like, this could have been a great issue, you know.
Okay.
But the way they chose it, this felt very generic, bland, and boring.
So what was elaborate on that for me? Like,
Just
I want, because I like it so much.
It's literally going through the history of time with this guy. I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I'm reading the Encyclopedia Britannica with the amount of dialogue in this. This was over the top, and I think this was like around 40 pages too.
Yeah, it was very dialogue heavy, but
yes, it was.
I wasn't bored at all.
I felt like Carlos. Now, the art in this by Carlos Magno is beautiful. He's the guy who did Avengers Mech Strike. Now, I felt like this was a complete waste of his talent on this comic.
So I almost missed this one.
Okay.
And I saw it on the table out there, and I was like, oh man, this is one of the last ones I read of the day. I was like, let me look through this. Let me look through this real quick. And then it wasn't really quick. I wound up sitting down in the chair and putting my feet up to really absorb it, because it sucked me right into the story. I love the story. It just drew me right into it. I was fascinated by the concept of Kang trying to train himself how to be a badass, and he actually winds up teaching himself like compassion in there. And then I love what the kid does at the end. Kid Kang, what he does at the end. I can't wait to see, because Kang isn't done. Oh my god, I loved it.
I felt like I didn't like the way they told the story. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe by issue 2 we'll bring you back.
Maybe, because I'm still going to check it out, because I love Carlos Magno. I love his art. He's fantastic.
All right. What else you got for your next one? I got 3 more.
My last one is Radiant Black.
Yeah, you mentioned. I'm going to show you that.
Yeah.
So I can get through mine pretty quick. So amazing. Miles Morales Annual. Infinity thing again. Infinity Fury. Infinite Fury. Nothing happens. Boring. Skip it. It's a total skip it. Save your money on this one. Super boring. I'm going to do another one. X-Corp. I hate this title. Of all the X titles, this has got to be the most boring,
every issue,
drawn out, dialogue heavy that doesn't contribute to anything. Like, I'm not against dialogue.
No.
Kang's got a lot of dialogue, and I loved it. Eternals. was like reading a novel. And I love the Eternals books, the Eternal series that comes out with the Side Rubictron on it. But this is terrible. This contributes nothing to the X-Men stories. Skip every single one of them. And then lastly but not leastly, I have The Flash. I did not like it again.
Yeah, to be honest with you, you want to talk about decompressed storylines? The previous issue and this issue should have been one issue.
Yep.
This is
drawn out.
Yes, absolutely.
Drawn out. And where we get to at the end, with that last page, could have happened easily at the in the end of the other issue.
Because honestly, what we see, what's teased at the very end, is what happened like a month ago or so when we read it. I'm like, wait a minute, holy crap.
Yep.
They really padded this out.
Yeah, super drug it out.
Yes.
So go ahead with Radiant Black Ranger.
Radiant Power Rangers Black, number 7.
Radiant Rangers.
Radiant Rangers. So the issue follows the Power Rangers as they jump from city to city and bicker with one another. The end.
Pretty much. Super close to being a skip it for me. There's one thing that's got me hanging on is the tension between the Red Ranger and the Black Ranger. Or whatever color he is. That's the only thing that's got me hanging on because I like that. Okay. All right. That's it. So again, like, comment, 2 giveaways. Hey, I'd like to mention this. I will be remiss if I don't mention this. Thank you to everybody at MegaCon who came up to us and said, I love your videos. Thank you. I watch your videos all the time. I was humbled and flattered and honored that so many of you guys said, we love your videos, whether we agree with Sean or Drew. I love them. We thank you for being honest. Thank you for telling us the truth. Thank you for not pandering to anything. Thank you for not pushing any agendas or pushing issues you think that you love. There's been issues I've done variants for that I've said, you know what, this sucks. And I know it's going to kill sales. I don't care because I got to be honest with you guys. You know, so I love every single person that came up to us and said hi. It meant so much to me. People were asking me for pictures and stuff. I was just super flattered. We do this because we love comics. We love talking about comics. We don't get to get out there in the whole world. This is a way to reach a huge audience and just share the hobby and the love of the hobby with everybody else. So the response has been fantastic.
Yes.
We're honored and humbled. Thank you so much, guys. That response that we get has us doing these videos at 10 o'clock at night.
Yes.
I love to be home sleeping, but we're going to push through one more video after this one because we know it's important to you guys, so it's important to us. So thank you so much. All right, with that in mind, Drew's going to end this. So buy what you like, collect what you want, don't listen to the haters, and we'll see you in a little bit.